Welcome back, friends and scoundrels. We got Adventure Log 13, Repercussions. The Octo-Horse and the Blue Man group has made their way just outside of town. And off in the distance, they're about 2 or 3 miles out. I think maybe a mile and a half. I don't remember. Wasn't too terribly far out, but they could see smoke coming up from the direction of the town. So they sent a couple people out to scout ahead. Frank, obviously, and I think Hiedos went. Because where there's fire, we send the Blue Man. And they determined that, in fact, the town was starting to be set on fire.
So naturally, they charged in for the assist.
Oh, they went back, got the rest of the group, headed into town, where they discovered bands of hobgoblins, bugbears, and goblins roaming around, attacking people, pillaging, setting things on fire, and apparently hadn't been here too terribly long yet, because Sister Gariel, Darren, and Sildar had taken up arms and were working to defend the town. And I knew this had the opportunity to get a little complicated and spread out, so I tried to do what I could to keep it as confined as possible. So I had different sections that the two parties were going to visit or defend or whatever, and had it all culminate into one area. So, because I thought the direction they were traveling in from Anyway, so I thought the direction they were traveling in from was from the eastern side, where Barthen's Provisions was, which kind of worked out because that's the guy who you guys had kidnapped.
I wouldn't say kidnapped.
So he freaked out because one of the bands was starting to move towards his property and was going to set it on fire. And did. So, Hiedos' big move here was Eldritch Blast, so that we could pull them away and then take care of things as we needed to. While they were doing that, the other party, the town's party, was at the Stonehill Inn. And this isn't the most exciting session as far as talking about it, because it's pretty much just running around town, just fighting the goblinoids.
Pretty much, yeah. Just a bunch of little goblin battles, of which not much excitement happens.
But had the town's party defending the Stonehill Inn, while you guys were defending the other part, or the Barthen's Provisions. And it was supposed to kind of be like as you're doing this is happening, but I didn't explain that very well. And Chris decided that, well, my party is doing okay with theirs, I'm going to go help the other party, which is not something I thought would happen. So he ran off and I let him just kind of deal with that. And I had one goblinoid sneaking around through the buildings from the shadows, and that's what actually drew him off in that direction, kind of, as he was chasing something. And then he saw these guys, Sister Gariel and the rest of them fighting a group, so he decided to stop and help them. While the Stonehill Inn was getting attacked, the Shrine of Luck, which is where the town's party kind of started out, was being attacked. It's like they were being drawn out. So your party the party had to go over there and defend that from a bunch of hooligans. And then we had the town's party over at the Lion's Shield Coster defending that, while the party was defending the town green, kind of in the center. And let's see here, what else? Then I had this kind of kind of planned out a little bit differently in my head, but this is where everything kind of culminates into one area. And I was just going to have the town's party kind of interact, and then you were pretty much going to take over. But then we got into the game and realized how stupid that was. So everything kind of culminates at the town hall, and I had a hobgoblin Iron Devastator there to take the town master hostage, and I think they're actually going to try to kidnap him for nefarious purposes. And I kind of started the social side of it, but I didn't continue it very far just because we were kind of getting late in the day, and I didn't want to just sit there and talk to myself.
It's always the hard part about, interacting as your own NPC. It's very weird.
Yeah. So, this is the one where I really kind of hoped some creativity would come out of the party, and somebody disappointed me.
Because of the limit of range of my spell, so mean.
You limited yourself on that. Well, no, I set it up for, the anticipation of certain things happening, and nobody did those things. So another one of those instances of don't try to really plan a whole lot, because the party's going to do whatever the party wants to do. And that definitely happened.
It did. I think we managed anyway.
I think so.
That was a good hit there. We ended up doing a combination channel divinity exploding arrow.
You did still get creative, but in a different way than I anticipated.
Flaming oil.
Because I had set up with enough room behind the guy for you to do spirit weapon, and I wasn't going to let too much harm come to the town master. But
I was too distracted trying to figure out the lining up of the when to cast channel divinity, how close and far away I could get to maintain the bless I was holding.
Yeah.
I was focused on other things.
Yeah, so the plan with the town party ended up being, just because they were there, I had them in the initiative order. But once the town master was free, one of them grabbed him, and they worked to get him to a safer area and keep him defended, because that would make sense. And just let you guys have the fun part of killing all the bad guys. Again, not an overly exciting episode of this one, at least not without being there.
It was fun for us, not so much fun to recap.
Yeah, we had a return of Octo-Horse in there somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Some sneaking about by a bear.
Those sneaky bears.
And some fun things. Prep, again, not a whole lot. It's just a matter of getting a couple buildings and then just setting them in a generalized place. That way, at least the area for things was known.
But we did level up at the end of this session.
So, it'll be exciting to see what happens going forward. I've got to bump a few things up based on what's upcoming and how that's set up. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. It's going to be a little while before the next one's out, just because, well, for anybody watching now, in the future, you can probably watch it whenever. But too much going on, and I've got quite a bit to prep for the next few sessions to get ready, so that's kind of keeping me from having a session for a while.
And busy schedules.
Yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share it around, turn on your notifications, check out the Facebook and the Minds. Until next time.
Live to roll.